Good people, once again, thank you for joining us on Orthodox Tv Kenya. This is Monday, a day dedicated to men. We do what men like, which is among others, reviewing newspapers. And as you can see, my background, I'm in a farm, and unfortunately many people fear appearing on our TV. But by and by we shall be provided by the Lord people who will be confident enough for them to air their views and their grievances on a digital platform. The paper of choice for this edition, today being the 16th of February 2026, we'll review the weekend papers, especially the Star, which had a headline around round one win for Sifuna as he gets Winnie and also a court backing. So this is politics that is transpiring today in Kenya. This is the Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Party. He was ousted by the Executive Council of the party for having a contrary view of not supporting an alliance with the ruling party led by the current president, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto. And so, moving on quickly, there is a headline on a 22 million case for the late Justice David Majanja. So this judge passed on around 2014, and he had left a will to his brother Robert, of which it was contested by his sister for the 22 million, not only to be for the brother, but also that the 22 million would also benefit the justice ailing dad, who has a medical bill, among other dependents. And so one of the evidence that was provided was that the justice had left a will, but had not signed a nomination form. So this nomination form is the one that declares the person who has been nominated to acquire what in the estate or the assets of the deceased. So unfortunately, this is a common thing among Africans. You can see it is also affecting a judge who knows the law and the procedure of the law of succession. And so many people in Africa prefer dying intestate. And so we see this again happening to a judge. And even though the brother had been awarded an insurance policy, retirement package from these proceeds, the court judged that since he was not nominated through a procedural manner, the money will be divided among other dependents. And so there we are. So put your documents in order if you have assets and properties to be inherited or to be awarded to the people whom you left behind. Yeah, as early as better. So another sub-heading was about the drug dealing day are numbered. This is from Nakada board chair, Stephen Mairori, who gave ultimatum to people who sell drugs near universities. And so this is a rampant issue, and sometimes we mistake stoned or high student courage with courage or bravery. So sometimes you see students behaving rowdily, and you think that they are courageous because they are educated, but sometimes it's just because they have taken substances and drugs, and they are in their control. They are controlling their systems, and so they have acquired what we call Dutch courage, and this is what makes them sometimes lose control and behave in a valor manner, but it's really not bravery. And so the Star also ran another headline on Saturday, because sometimes the Star has a headline for 2 days. So the one that we've just read was for Friday, Saturday. So on Sunday, it ran a headline around the true stocks in the ODM again. And there was almost a fist fight between Sifuna and Junet. And again, after that meeting aborted, there was another unexpected occurrence where Oburu, Kalonzo, and Rigathi met. And so people are still talking. We were told these are the political transfer window, where people are looking for pre-election pacts and coalitions. And so it's not a wonder that if the friction in ODM is between Junet and Sifuna, then the two need to be dealt with appropriately, because if Oburu will also circumvent the ideas of Sifuna to join the opposition and not work with the current president, so we are looking at a situation where ODM is looking for a sweet deal. And so then that puts us as citizens in a position not to imagine that ODM is cast on a stone in as far as the political marriage with UDA is concerned. So another one from the High Courts is about the court has reduced jail sentence to a man who was accused of defiling a 14-year-old. And this has brought and sparked a lot of row among the Encentrians, because it is unheard of that a court may reduce a sentence from 20 to around 12, though that is the law. But I thought that cases were adjudicated according to the law and the evidence adduced. So I've not really delved into the matter, but it's unfortunate for the victim that this occurrence had to be part of their experience while they are expecting justice for this minor. Also, there is another concern among Nairobians of an influx population of mosquitoes. And so according to the National Malaria Control Program, there is a Professor Isabella Oyer who works at Cambridge. She talked about 675 variants of malaria that are being studied. And so there was a delayed parasite clearance procedure or product that is now being tested, and this is linked with what they called as artemisinin, which is a drug that is supposed to be produced. Those of us who have grown in Nairobi told that the mosquitoes in Nairobi no longer spread malaria because research had been done, and so it was supposed to be spread across Kenya. But remember, even that as it may, the fact that mosquitoes are insects that can fly across borders, you cannot immunize our mosquitoes and fail to immunize those from Somali, Tanzania, Uganda, and South Sudan. And so I think this is just part of the research and the treatment as a scientific product has to go through some procedures, and this is one of them. Probably people said that there are AI mosquitoes that are supposed to feast on these natural mosquitoes, and so that we can do away with mosquitoes once and for all. But I've said mosquitoes are insects that can fly across borders. I don't know how long they live, but I'm sure they really reproduce very quickly. Finally, on Monday today, we again look at the star. And one thing that has really brought happiness to the face of many employees is the fact that pensioners will retire with millions of shillings as the new NSSF saving system for people who earn around 108k will be saving around 520,000 every year. And so you can do the math, how much percentage is that. But also there is a landmark law that will be introduced that any pensioner can access their pension once they reach the age of 50, and also those approaching 50 if they will be changing career. This is with regard to education, health, and housing. It's a policy that is seen as part of the ruling party or the regime of the day policy, whereby this regime began by stringently taxing the payslips of Kenyans so that they can be able to fund for SHA, which is the medical that we can see in this policy or new law coming up. For housing, you can see it is here, and for education. And now the three policy items are seen as being brought as a dangling carrot for employees to find reprieve and look at this government from a position of mercy or benefit. And so the second, because on Monday they did not run a lot of headlines that were beneficial to us. We only looked at the CIC share prices, which are going up as NSC hits new high of around 3.42 trillion, which is what pundits have said it is 2.8% score, and it is ripe. This is the right time for investment in Kenya. Anybody who wants to invest in Nairobi stock market, this is the right time, and it is advisable that we really put our best foot forward. And also there is the IPO for KPLC, Kenya Power and Lighting Company, that will be ending on Thursday. So please open your CDC account so that you may be able to trade with shares. It is important to know that each share costs around 90 shillings. And so the minimum shares you can buy for around 999. So please, let's up our game and assets. And so finally, we look at the business daily, because as a television, we are a product of the Orthodox professionals and entrepreneurs, and our business is to bring headlines that are relevant to people who want to have a financial growth and breakthrough. And so that's why we don't focus so much on politics unless it comes as the main headline on the newspaper of our choice. So on Monday, today, the BD brought the idea of AI, whereby there is a summit going on in India, and we are happy that Kenya is part of it. And this summit is of the CEOs who are operating AI open and generative AI technologies through different firms. And the theme of this summit is how to protect children and how to protect employees, because it is said that it is replacing employees, and this will have a ripple effect in the economy and also the growth of humanity. And also children will access materials that are harmful to them, and so there is need to control the AI, that is artificial intelligence. The Mombasa-Nairobi highway, which is called the Usahihi Expressway, again, the government has given the last ultimatum to a company called Everstrong Capital company, who was awarded during the last regime of Uhuru Kenyatta a contract of 468 billion Kenyan shillings. And now the term of contract is 30 years. And if we continue from the time the contract was awarded, we are almost 10 years or thereabout. It's beyond 5 years. So the PD again, during the weekend, quickly as we finish with the newspaper review, it had highlighted about China loan deal that places hurdles on the 390 billion SGR expansion. So the loan that we have for China is one that is delaying again another contract for the SGR that is supposed to move from Naivasha to Busia. And so finally, another alarming issue on health is about the auditor, Gathungu, has raised an alarm that only 90% of county hospitals lack ICU units. This is very scary. And finally, Kenya widens domestic debt target by 104 billion from July. So I hope This will open the door of what we are expected to do in the newspaper review. Anybody from anywhere can have an engagement with me and the people who will in future will subsequently be the host of this program. To have a newspaper review, it is simple. We do a review from Friday to Monday, between Friday and Monday, and it is only headlines that are relevant to this program and its purpose. So be blessed, have a blessed week, and continue to work hard, continue to be a brother's keeper, and continue to always hope in the Lord for the best for your future. Thank you. This is Isaac, the host of this program.